What's going on, guys? We are back once again, and we are going to be finally reviewing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yes, we are going into spoilers. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about this film because, again, first off, I had my doubts on this film. Only reason is because of some of the things that I saw, but going into it, I was very open-minded, and I'm gonna say this. I really enjoyed this movie. I did. I very much enjoyed it. I felt like a little kid again. I felt just a lot of love from this film. And this pretty much goes right into the basis of what the very first film gave us, and even this one. So first off, if you guys don't want to know anything about spoilers or anything, click off the video. But if you guys did watch the movie, let me know what you guys thought, as well as everything further about this film. So the way this starts is we start off with Gwen Stacy on her Earth, and she goes into her story, her backstory, how she became Spider-Woman, as well as also how she lost Peter and how she's been trying to deal with it. And she's just still going through the motions, and unfortunately she's had a manhunt after her because obviously with her dad getting to be captain soon, is he's put out a manhunt for the justice of Peter, of course not knowing that is his daughter. And then later on in the film, he does realize that this is his daughter, and he's still wanting to arrest her, which was really crazy. And what we also find out is when he tries, before then we see where she goes and tries to stop an alternate version of Vulture, and when she's trying to fight him off, this is when we get introduced to another Spider-Woman named Jess, as well as also Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099. And he does mention a lot of different things, and I will say it does get shown later on in the movie that he has created on his own Earth a Spider-Man HQ, pretty much of handling issues like this ever since the issue that happened at the first film. And when they do stop Vulture, Gwen really has nowhere to go because, again, she's about ready to be arrested, and they stop her father from arresting her. Miguel finally says, okay, let's go, and that's how it ends. And then we see where Miles is pretty much been on his own for however long now, about I think a year and 6 months, I think is what he said. And then what we see is him fighting off the Spot, which the Spot, again, I'm going to go and say this, guys, the Spot is not my favorite Marvel / Spider-Man villain. He's really not. I'm not a big fan of the Spot. I didn't really care for him. But this version I really liked. He was a real smart ass. He was very he was very charismatic. It was really cool, and I actually enjoyed the way that they portrayed this character. And what happens is him finding off Miles, and then finding out why he does not like Miles and why he considers Miles his main adversary is what we're going to get into here in a little bit. While he's trying to fight off the Spot, he's also trying to hurry up and get to a meeting his mom and dad is having with, I would say, a guidance counselor on what his future is going to be. And there is a lot of pressure on him in this film, I will say, from his parents, of them trying to push him into what direction they want him to go in rather than what he wants to. And that's very normal from parents, especially not only in movies but reality. It was kind of like, okay, I kind of get their side, but I also do get Miles' side that he wants to do his own thing. And he finally gets there, and it's just like, he can't get a word in edgewise, right? This kid cannot win for losing. And he has to go right back to fighting the Spot because the Spot does get released, and then he does get away after of course, Miles loses. And he tries to, figure out, like, okay, what happened? And when this happens, he goes back. His dad's about ready to be promoted to captain, and they try to have a party. He misses it. He gets grounded pretty much. He can't. Again, this kid cannot win for losing. And finally, when he tries to settle down, of course, Gwen shows up, right? And she's been in this elite spider unit for 4 months. And he's like, okay, well, if you had this, travel device where you could go to other worlds, why have you not come to see me? And in actuality, the reason why she did was because in secret she was trying to go after the Spot because that was her mission. And unfortunately, she was not given enough time, I guess, to go see Miles, even though she should not have gone to see Miles because there's a lot going into this. And when Miles finally does follow her, he goes into another alternate world where there's an Indian version of Spider-Man, and between him, Gwen, and then we see punk rock Spider-Man, which is really cool. They have to stop the Spot from destroying everything, and when it gets shown and said, and this is true, that the Spot comes from another Earth, and this is all weird, is the Earth that the Spot comes from is the Earth that the spider that bit Miles actually came from. And it gets revealed later by Miguel O'Hara that if it wasn't for that spider biting Miles, and then with whatever happened with that machine, then the Peter of his world would still be alive, and the world that the Spot is from would have a Spider-Man, which more than likely could have been the Spot. And that was kind of crazy, and it does get shown it was true. And Miles finds this out later on in the film, because he does go to Spider-Man HQ after he does try to save a captain that is the father of the love interest for that world Spider-Man. And when they do go there, now I will say this, guys, this was really cool to see all these other kind of Spider-Man. We got to see, you know, the animated version of Spider-Man. We got to see the unlimited version of Spider-Man. We got to see the Wild West version of Spider-Man, Ben Riley Spider-Man. For the Scarlet Spider, we got to see the T-Rex Spider-Man, we got to see the Cat Spider-Man, the Wild West one, we got to see Spectacular Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, I believe I saw, Spider-Man PS4. We got to see even, which was weird, the alternate version of the Prowler played by Donald Glover, which was really cool to see, because again, I know a lot of people wanting to see that, because we see the version of the Prowler and Miles is going through all of them, and he says, hey, and then he just looks and he says, it's rude to stare. And it was really cool the way they did that. And they meet Miguel O'Hara, and Miguel O'Hara tells Miles all about what's happened, and he does reveal that, you know, there's things to happen that makes us Spider-Man. And he hasn't told him yet until later on, after he finds out the truth and he gets chased down by all the Spider-Man and they try to stop him. So basically, long story short, they show him everything that happened. Now, there was a lot of cameos in here. We got to see a cameo of Venom, the Asian lady that's always the clerk when Eddie and Venom always come in. That was absolutely hilarious, because he looked at her and was like, oh, well, you act like this is not the weirdest thing you've seen. And I wish that she would have been like Eddie, Venom. You know, that would have been awesome to see, because I love Venom. I love the first one, the second one. Even though there is issues with the second one, I will say that. But and then also we get the cameo from Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man when Uncle Ben dies. And they always say that there's also a captain that's going to die, or someone else that's going to die. Because, again, there's always 2 deaths or 3 in Spider-Man. There's always either a love interest, or there's a captain or a police officer that is relatable to Spider-Man, and also I would say, a surrogate father to Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. Now, it gets shown it's going to be a captain, and what Miles saw is that a lot of the captains between his dad and the police officer he saved in the alternate timeline, then he saves them. He created an issue in that time, so they're trying to fix it, and Miguel O'Hara tells him, okay, if you do this, you're already an anomaly. He's like, well, what do you mean? He doesn't understand. And since again, he was not supposed to be Spider-Man. Before we find this out, he was not supposed to be Spider-Man. So Miguel O'Hara has already been trying to fix this. And if he saves his dad, then there's going to be more of an anomaly in his world. And Miguel O'Hara tells him that there was an alternate version of him that had a family, and he died, and he went to go have that, and the world pretty much, I guess, from what it was shown, was just disappeared. And the Peter B. Parker does show up, and we find out he had a daughter, and the reason why he had this daughter is because of what Miles did for him. Really gave him that push to try to work things out with MJ, or his version of MJ. And he finally got to have a daughter, and he wanted her to be like Miles. And he does tell Miles that, because between Miles finding out about Gwen and Peter, or Peter B. Parker finding out about everything, he feels very betrayed. He goes on the run. He's trying to get to his version of Earth, and he almost does. He almost escapes, but he gets sent to the wrong Earth without him knowing, and Gwen gets sent back to her Earth. And we see where Gwen's actually able to make up with her dad in time, but she finds out that there was actually something left for her by Spider-Punk, because Spider-Punk was the only one that did not go after Miles. for whatever reason, because I guess he liked Miles. And that was really cool, because he left her a device to where she could still travel, like a customizable travel watch. And that's how you were able to travel through different alternate dimensions. Now, Miles actually ends up on another Earth where that spider came from, because he does try to tell his mom about being Spider-Man, and she has no idea who Spider-Man is. He's like, what are you talking about? And then he sees someone come through the door. It's his Uncle Aaron, aka the Prowler. And he's like, what the hell? Like, how are you alive? And he's just so happy to see him. But it's just not the same. And he goes to talk to Aaron on the roof, and then he sees his dad's memorial. So his dad's dead in this world, and he gets knocked out, and he gets talked to by Aaron, and then he gets talked to by this mysterious other figure who is actually his double from this Earth. So his double has become another version of the Prowler, and now Miles is in trouble. And Gwen did try, she made peace with her father, and her father will no longer become captain because of now accepting the fact that his daughter is Spider-Woman. So she was able to figure that, and I guess she was figuring, okay, if Miles does the same thing, then maybe his dad won't take to be captain, and he won't have to worry about the timeline. And that's what she was trying to help out. And then we got to kind of see, it was really crazy with the way they did this, to really show, like, okay, because as soon as she gets in Miles' room, you're like, okay, is everything okay? Is everything okay now? It's going to calm down. And it just switches like, wow, whoa, Miles is not on the Earth that he should be on. And that was because of what this other girl did. And I'm not sure if this was on purpose, or she intended to do this, or she was going to try to help him. I don't know, because this other version of Spider-Woman, again, I'm not sure if it was intended or it was by accident, or just try to help him to get him away from Miguel. Because again, he was in a portal, and you see where Miguel O'Hara was trying to break through that portal, and he wasn't able to because this one helped him. And it was really crazy. So what happens is, now at the end of the film, Miles is stuck in this world. He's captured, and now Gwen does end up on Miles' current Earth that he does live on, and she tells his parents that he does love them, and she's gonna find them and everything of that nature. And then she leaves, opens up another portal, goes and gets Peter B. Parker, because he knows Miles is in danger. And between him, his daughter, Spider Noir, Spider Pig, basically all the ones that we saw in the first film, along with the other Spider-Man, I can't remember the name, the one with the robot, and then also the Indian Spider-Man, and also Spider-Man Punk Rock, or the Punk Rock Spider-Man. That is how it ends, is they go ahead and they go after Miles, and that's how this ends. Gwen creates her own elite version, while Miguel O'Hara and Jess, as well as also Ben Reilly, tries to go after Miles. So guys, this movie was crazy. It's kept me entertained. The drama, the action, everything. This felt like a Spider-Man movie. This, again, anything that anyone may say, this did not come across woke in any way. This did not come across boring. This did not come across anything else. They kept true to a lot of characters. I think they did very well with these characters, and I really enjoyed this film. Guys, you should know me well enough if you've been on this channel for so long. I'm going to say if a movie sucks. I really am going to say if a movie sucks. So if you don't know that by now, then I don't know what to tell you. But I would say if this movie sucked, if it did suck. It did not suck. Would I watch this movie again? Definitely. Can I not wait for the third one? No, I want to see the third one. I have so many predictions on what's going to happen in the third one. I'm probably going to make a video out of it, but just kind of give you guys a tease. I think what's going to happen is we are going to see a version of both Miles fighting at some point. Maybe the other bad Miles trying to pretend to be the other, the actual Miles, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. And I enjoy this movie. I think there's going to be so much going to happen in the third film. And again, it's kind of crazy because, again, we're getting Marvel Spider-Man 2. This comes out, so you guys know it's going to be a hell of a good year for Spider-Man. So this movie, I got nothing really too much bad to say about it, man. I mean, there was a lot of great stuff in here. There was a lot of great throwback for a lot of fans that have been a Spider-Man fan for so many years. And I would definitely say, if you're a Spider-Man fan, this was for you. And I do agree. I think this was a love letter to Spider-Man fans. And I think the third one's just going to up upon that. I think that the first one, Into the Spider-Verse, began that. This one kept going, made it even further up to the ante, and the third one's going to do the exact same thing. I have high probability for. So, guys, let me know what you think about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Did you guys enjoy it? Was it amazing? Was it good? Was it bad? What was your favorite part? What Spider-Man did you see? What Spider-Man did you not see? Did I leave anything out? If I did, let me know, because again, there's so much going on, so it's kind of hard for me to kind of see every little detail that was going on. But again, if I watch it again, maybe I'll miss something that I did not see. But either way, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Also, let me know again, comment down below what you guys thought about it, and I'll see you as always on the next one.